Hello everyone. Is everyone enjoying the day? I'm sure you would be. I'm sure we've had some wonderful presentations. I'm pre-recording this because it's just easier for me. So, I'm going to do a variation of the wood burning technique shared by Frenchie. I don't know if anyone caught my samples online at all, where we used early espresso, but as you can see, I'm using Blackberry Bliss for this one. I'm going to do another one in Night of Navy as well. Certain colours do not work, and certain embossing folders do not work for this technique. I tried with the, is it called the Seaside? I'm not quite sure. You know, the one with the one that goes with the whale, and it, can I grab that and show you? Maybe I can. It made all the stamping disappear. Oh, that's not the one. It was no good with that, and it was also no good with this pine wood one that I'm going to do now. See how the stampings all disappeared? And that was done with Pretty Peacock. So I just saved that to show you, but that can now go in the bin. I thought the peacock would be dark enough, but it must be the pigment in the ink or something. I'm not sure. I've tried a few different ones. I tried with the jade. I tried with, as I said, the peacock. I was going to have a go with Bermuda Bay, and I thought, possibly that's going to have the same, you know, the same pigments in it. So I'm just going to take that off there because I want to pop on the one for my next card in a minute. Okay, and then I did some freehand stamping with, put that back on there, with the this set. Oh, I was going to show you what stamp sets I use. I'll show you that in a sec. Make sure it's up the right way. Go about there. I'm copying off my sample so I can try and I stamped that 3 times. I should be explaining as I'm doing it. This is how Frenchie did it. She stamped it 3 times. But I was wondering whether, because some of my girls that did the class, I didn't know whether they all had the Stamparatus. I don't know that you necessarily need to have the Stamparatus. I'd be interested to know. I haven't actually tried it without, but everyone should have one, right? Now I'm going to need to clean that, aren't I? Because I want that for my next one. I'll put navy on it. So I just like to get the, when it's a dark ink, I like to do that. Get the most of it off with a baby wipe so that I'm not having to wash out my scrub all the time. Just going to get that ready so that it's ready to go for the next one and show you the process of this one. Pop that down there, and now we need our water painter. First time using my fat one because I've been using my old aqua painter, but I thought I better use everything that's current. So, and you just kind of like paint it. It's taken me a little bit to get used to the new aqua painters, but I'm quite liking, especially the fine one. Really quite liking the fine one. And if you don't have enough ink, which I don't seem to have, maybe my ink pad's drying out a bit. Just press a bit more so I can get a bit more water. I'm actually going to, I didn't bring my spritzers. I'm going to just do it on the back so that it, because if I touch it, it's going to have dirty finger marks on it, of course. Now, for a little block to put my ink on. Pick up some more ink. Pick up some more ink. I'm hoping I'm in camera. Different to live, so you can't see whether you're in camera or not, but I think I should be. If not, I'm going to have to do it all over again, aren't I? Now, go off a bit first. We don't want a big Bermuda Bay. And I probably wouldn't go too much over my, got a stamp on the back of that, that's why it's not moving, over the back of my Thinking of You. I have got one I did, another one that I finished earlier where I'll show you. I went over the Thinking of You with the script from Very Versailles, and it kind of messed up the, I mean, it's not messed up that you can't see it, but it's a bit messed up. That makes sense. So I kind of want a bit of light and a bit of shadow, a bit of light and a bit of dark. Just want to clean that off so I can use it next time. Hasn't got much pinky stuff on there. Carefully put him in there so I don't ruin my bristles. And I think I can get rid of that too before I stick my finger in it. You have a block hanging around here somewhere, I don't know where it went. One without a stamp on it, never mind. So now I'm going to pop that on there to dry. Now all we do is, I'm not quite sure what to call this, because the one that I've already done, and I'll show you the samples, some new samples, not the ones that I did for my class, they're whole new samples. So you want to grab the pine wood folder, is the best one to use, and while it's still wet, make sure you put the wood grain the same direction as you've painted it, like across. You wouldn't have it up the other way. Now, because mine's a fairly old folder, I only need the platform and one glass plate. With the embossing folders, we've had so many and so many different changes. You really just need to experiment and see what works. If it won't go through, don't force it. Oops, just everything over there. And you're left with this. That wasn't actually very wet. With the newer painter, I must have not used as much water. And then you just let that dry. You want to, if you've got a big block, what did I do with them? Put them at the road. No. If you pop a big block on it, if you have one, there's a bigger one than that even, pop that on it while it dries. It's probably the best way to do it. So if you dry it with your heat tool, it is inclined to curl up. Just want to see if this has got any pink on it and get that off. Pink on that side. It's amazing. You can't see it with the naked eye, but you can. If it happens to be on there and you emboss something else, you're in a bit of trouble. Okay, I'll just set that there. We might grab, so this is the one I did earlier. One of the ones I did earlier. I'll just assemble that and then I'll show you quickly. They're just so quick and so effective. Well, hopefully it's quick. The best way to adhere anything that's embossed is with your multi-purpose glue. So we just quickly do this. I'm not very good at this. I usually have either too much glue or not enough. Anyway, that looks pretty good today. And then onto your base card, which is just a normal sized base card for our area. Then I did my little bow earlier, but I will show you what I did. Just this ribbon is gorgeous, but it's oh so fiddly to work with. Hopefully I haven't got too much blackberry bliss on my hands. So I just went about 3, and then I grabbed it in the middle, chopped that off, and then I went around and tied a knot around there, and I ended up with a little bow just like this, which I'll probably put there. Okay, I'll show you. I'm going to do a blue one next, so I'm going to use the, what's the new colour called? I'm hopeless with the colours, and I didn't grab my glue dots, so I'm going to just, I did actually just put the linen thread on with, the only thing you won't be able to move this once I put it on. I'm quite sure where I'm going to put that. Where did I put my other one? I've got a couple here. There we go. Here. Oh, I just put it there, sort of in amongst the flowers. I think that looks good. Stay there. I might just do the stamping for the inside of the envelope with that one while that dries, and then we're going to embellish that. So I had my little bird somewhere. Gosh, where did I put him? Oh, here he is. Thought he'd flown away. I might just, probably won't need any of that, because these stamps, these colours are so dark. That's with Raspberry, I don't want that. Where are you? Espresso? No. I've used blackberry. Take me half an hour to find you. Hello. Oh, here we go. What I discovered earlier when I was doing a few samples was because I've got my block there with the ink on it, you can actually just pick it up off the block because you don't need much. I'm just making sure I haven't got it on my fingers. It just saves you having to have your ink pads open, and it saves you having too much ink. It just adds a little bit of interest to your card and your envelope. So we all like our decorated envelopes, don't we? Just gives it that little bit of something extra. Okay, put you away. Oh goodness, making a mess here. Can't have fun without making a mess though, can you? Now, pop the inside in. Might just use, oh, it's the wrong card. Don't need 2 insides, do I? I'll just use a bit of Stamp and Seal for the inside. Pop that in there. I don't typically put greetings in cards unless I know who they're for. So now we want our embellishments, and I don't know what I was going to put. I'm loving using these elegant, what are they? Elegant faceted gems. I'm just loving using these. You could use the clear ones, but because this has got white, clear will go with anything. I just thought I'd use the white, seeing I've got white on my card. And we'll use another big one too, down here, and a smaller one. I do this dance. I kind of like it there. I know it's close to the bow, but it kind of brings the eye into the birds, I think. Okay. So there is your, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to call it, because Frenchie called it faux wood burning. Well, it's not actually wood. Oh, I don't know if you'd have pink wood, but I just thought it looked really nice in a different colour. And if you've got some patience, with me, I'll show you another colourway as well. Just really the same thing, same but different. Going to use Night of Navy this time. I'll show you the stamp sets if I don't forget when I've done all these. Just make sure your magnet is not going to be in the way of anything important. You need your magnet because you want to do it 3 times. And it's a bit tricky to know where that goes. There we go. That's okay. Now my navy ink. It's that's 1. 2. And we've got, these are all from Sailing Home. This is from Beautiful World, these 2. You could use the one from Sailing Home, but it was a bit big, but you could use just half of it. Then I'm going to, I didn't do that in my first, that's number 2, in my first sample, but in this one I'm going to, because I'd added the words from Very Versailles to the other ones, I thought that looked, that just added another dimension, so I have chosen to do that with these cards as well. Just going to grab out my other sample so I can copy because it's easier. Easier when you've already done something just to copy, isn't it? So again, we're going in with this one. Make sure the writing's up the right way, and I'm not going over the words. Must grab that other one and show you. I don't know if I've got it in my bucket there or not. Show you what happens when you do go over the words, and I probably want to put that a little bit more over or a little bit less. Not the same as. And I've got dirty finger marks. I had that on my other one too, but you know what? This card, it doesn't matter because it's all going to be wet anyway. A little bit crooked there. Never mind. I might have had my card crooked, did I? Put those ones the same width. I don't want them the same width. Hopefully that's right. It's almost the same, never mind. Get the idea, don't you? No, we might do the painting first. Painting and make sure that's not pink. I don't think it is. And you simply just paint. I have my cards, this is shimmer white too. You wouldn't do this on just normal whisper white. You'd have to use your shimmer, which I love my shimmer, or you could use your watercolour paper, of course. I don't really want to get finger marks. Let's put the water on the back so it flattens for me. Really just right across so you don't have brush marks. Or you can't see the brush marks, I'm trying to say. Nearly there. So add some more water coming down. Take me a little bit to get used to this. It's not, doesn't come down as quick as it does in the older ones, which is what you want really. I want to flood your artwork, do you? And you can add, did I do that last time? I think I did. You can add more, but more colour like I did before, but I don't actually think we'll need it on this one. I'm just wanting a bit more water to come through. It's not going to play ball. I've got it done up too tight. There, we're getting somewhere now. And if you can see, it brings out some pinky purple tones in the navy. In the early espresso, it brings out some pinks, as well as, I've got an old pad. I've got an old one and a new one. In the old pad, I noticed it was bringing out some greens as well. I'll show you a couple of other ones I've done with the early espresso as well. Making sure I get that lid on properly. Then we go through I'm just going to make sure my hands are clean. Get blue all over everything. Won't be good. And again through the stamp and emboss machine with the same folder. I did do one with the old world paper, and I did do one with Scripty, and I'll show you those as well. But this one is my favourite one to do it with. Just throw that over there so I can remember to clean that. So there's that. You see all the pink. No, I don't think it's from the, no, it can't be from the, it might have come out of my brush, but I reckon I noticed it before I started doing the pink ones. I reckon I noticed it when I first did the blue one. So anyway, see how you go with it. And then, where's the rest of my card? Here. And then here's one I prepared earlier. It's all nice and dry. That also can get mounted on a white piece. Just like so. Make sure it's adhered before you turn it over. So it's, with me anyway, it's inclined to slip, and then it can be crooked. So mind you, you could mount it crookedly if you wanted to, like on an angle. That would be another thing to do, and you could do something else with your background bit then. Could emboss it in something else perhaps, not sure. Out of one design comes many ideas, doesn't it? Normally, that's normally the way we work. Now again, I'll do the envelope and the insert. I'll find my ink is what I was looking for. So put the littler boat there. And here you could put whatever you want here, of course. Again, hoping that I'm in camera. Be careful to do the whole thing and no one can see what I'm doing, wouldn't it? Now, same thing, we'll grab the Night of Navy door, but that looks like it might be. Grab some ink off here and go in just gently here. Oh, he looks like he's floating in the sea. Okay, now get this insert adhered in. Careful how I pick it up. I want to be stuck to all that glue, do I? There we go. I'm sure that's right. Now I'll show you how I did the... Oops, that's the end off my... I could have used that, couldn't I? I need my ribbon scissors. I'm using the new... What's the new blue? I should know all this, shouldn't I? Because even though it's not navy, because there's light and shade with the navy, it works. You use whatever works. I probably should have grabbed the rhinestones, because this has got a glitter through it. So just around there and just do that. Chop him off. Again, I don't normally use multi-purpose for this, but my glue dots were playing up on me yesterday. They were not happy. They were going hard. I think it was because I was only going into my craft room for a few things and not... what have I done with my sample? I don't know where that went. I'm just trying to see where I put that. But I think there's good. Maybe I didn't put glue, twine. Oh, I can see it's fallen off. See, that's my glue dots, it fell off. So what I've got out here is some of the holiday rhinestones, which are navy, so we can pop them on. Again, if we put that there, that kind of brings the eye into the frame, I guess you might say. Now, so that's that one. That's the one I did earlier, and like I said, I put the writing over the thinking of you. And you could actually, if you wanted to stamp that, and I may do that, you could get a spare piece of your watercolour paper, paint it the same, like just with your Blackberry Bliss, wait till it dries and then stamp your greeting and then punch it out or snip it out or whatever and put it over there, okay? So here's the one we did today, and we didn't go over the words, and I think that's fine. That looks like, maybe it looks like someone's crying, I don't know. So there's that one. And what I did, oh yeah, I did a couple more here, and there's that one done with the old world paper. I think that's what it's called. I'm not very good with names, sorry. And there's the same one done with Scripty. I haven't finished the card yet, obviously, but you can see it's not quite as effective. It's okay, but I prefer the wood grain. You might not. You might prefer something else. And this is the way it's supposed to be. And can you see all the reds that are in the brown and the greens as well? Like I was saying before. It's amazing what colours are in the wood. Well, it does look like wood, doesn't it? And there's this one too, so you can see some greens and some reds coming through there too. So I hope you enjoyed that technique. So I'll just go through the items that I use with the Pine Wood Planks dynamic folder. I've had mine for a while. As you can see, it's the green cover. I have used Sailing Home. I have used Beautiful World, Very Versailles, and Free as a Bird, the beautiful Free as a Bird. I love that stamp set. Okay, thank you all for watching. I hope I've inspired you to have a go at that technique. Thank you. Bye bye.